Hey guys, it's another Saturday news dump. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Matt Danovic.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Well, all right. We've known for a while that one of the biggest surprise TV hits of last year, True Detective, is coming back this summer. But beyond that, we haven't known a whole lot else.
True Detective Season 2 is a whole new story that's completely separate from the events and characters of Season 1, which starred Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson as murder detectives down in Louisiana investigating a serial killer.
I think it's pronounced Louisiana.
Yeah.
Anyway, the new season takes place here in California and stars Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn, Rachel McAdams, and Taylor Kitsch. Back in November, HBO let out a little bit of information about what the plot would be about, but we haven't heard much of anything since then.
Until now, because this week, HBO dropped the first trailer for True Detective Season 2. And while it manages to not give a whole lot away, we finally get to see the look of this season, and it's very much like the look of the first season, except in California with new characters, even though they actually look very like the rust is there. It's Russ.
Basically.
Yeah.
The mustaches are still alive and well. So just to recap the character and plot descriptions from back in November, the basic plot is 3 police officers and a career criminal must navigate a web of conspiracy in the aftermath of a murder.
Colin Farrell plays one of those cops, a detective whose allegiances are torn between his corrupt department and the mobster who owns him.
Vince Vaughn plays a criminal slash entrepreneur whose move into legitimate business gets compromised by the murder of an associate. Probably the murder that the show centers around.
Rachel McAdams plays a sheriff's detective whose uncompromising ethics put her at odds with the corruption all around her.
And Taylor Kitsch plays a war veteran and motorcycle cop for the California CHP, Highway Patrol, who is running from a difficult past.
We can't gather too much more from the trailer, which doesn't even have dialogue, but we do see Colin Farrell with a sweet mustache, and we see that he and Rachel McAdams work together, and we see that Taylor Kitsch likes to fight. Ha! And we also see that Vince Vaughn is involved in real estate in some way.
That's a legitimate business. So because of the nature of a show like True Detective, I almost want all of this to be just all that we get of the sneak peeking before the show airs. I don't want to know anymore, but I know that that won't be the case. HBO is going to give us way too much information. Anyway, True Detective premieres June 21st on HBO, and I will be watching.
Yeah, me too.
Let's move on to another dark, creepy show that's supposed to be coming back. Last year, Showtime and David Lynch announced that 25 years after the original show ended, they'd be bringing Twin Peaks back to life for another generation.
Twin Peaks started airing on ABC in 1990 and ran for 2 seasons before being canceled and having the story wrap itself up a little bit more in the movie Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah, the story centered on the bizarre and brutal murder of a high school girl in the quaint small town of Twin Peaks, Washington, and as the series progressed, it became very clear that this picture-perfect small town was actually full of dark secrets and supernatural mysteries.
And I also just got that Twin Peaks is a euphemism for breasts.
Yeah, boobs.
It came from the mind of David Lynch, maker of such bizarre classics as Blue Velvet and Eraserhead, and was equal parts creepy and funny with a vibe that's sort of hard to explain unless you've seen it.
Yeah, the show gained a strong cult following in the years since and was definitely some groundbreaking TV for its time, so the news that there would be 9 new episodes of the show, written and produced by original showrunners David Lynch and Mark Frost, and continuing the story of the original series, it almost sounded too good to be true.
Well, yeah, now it's looking like it's too good to be true because last weekend David Lynch took to Twitter to announce that he won't be involved in whatever Twin Peaks series Showtime is working on. He wrote, "Dear Twitter friends, Showtime did not pull the plug on Twin Peaks. After 1 year and 4 months of negotiations, I left because not enough money was offered to do the script the way I felt it needed to be done. This weekend, I started to call actors to let them know I would not be directing. Twin Peaks may still be very much alive at Showtime. I love the world of Twin Peaks and wish things could have worked out differently."
That was an excellent David Lynch.
I don't know how we got David Lynch to phone in to do it, but we did.
Now, to be clear, David Lynch and Mark Frost have apparently already delivered the finished scripts for the series a while ago. What he's talking about here is that he's not going to be directing any of the episodes. Apparently because Showtime doesn't want to put up enough money into the show's budget to do it the way he wants to do it.
So it's likely that there will still be a 9-episode Twin Peaks miniseries on Showtime next year, but not having Lynch's vision on the set is definitely a huge blow to its potential success with fans of the original.
Yeah, and there's even a YouTube video of a bunch of the actors from the original series talking into their little cell phone cameras, making analogies like Twin Peaks without David Lynch is like blank without blank, with all of the analogies being subtle references to the original show. So it's pretty clear that none of these actors are all that interested in reprising their roles if David Lynch isn't involved.
So if you're bringing back an old show because it has such a cult following, is there any point of doing that if people who made the show successful aren't involved? I mean, I guess we'll find out.
it might be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. But hey, don't be sad. Remember that guy we mentioned back in like December-ish during the whole Sony hacking scandal who said he was gonna send balloons in North Korea carrying thousands of DVDs of the interview as a big fuck you to Kim Jong-un?
Well, even if you don't remember, apparently that guy, a former North Korean now living in South Korea, has been doing just that since January.
Yeah, he basically just gets a bunch of helium balloons, attaches DVDs and anti-Kim Jong-un leaflets to them, and lets them loose near the north-south border in the middle of the night. And I guess he does it pretty regularly.
There's no way of knowing how successful his balloon launches are since they're just being carried by the wind in the dark of the night and could really land anywhere. And also, I mean, I don't even know if they have DVD players.
They might, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out in like 20 years when the wall comes down. They're like, I need to meet this James Franco guy. But yeah, we gotta figure at least a few people have gotten their hands on an interview DVD and maybe watched it. And picturing that person sitting in their house, fearing for their life while they watch what would have to be a pretty confusing movie for them, is a great image.
Freedom means sticking things up your ass.
Yeah.
Yep. But speaking of things that separate the freedom of America from the oppression of the third world dictatorships, Taco Bell has announced that they are exploring the possibility of online delivery.
Yeah, we did it, I guess. Yeah, so that internal debate that you have after that third bong rip over whether you're hungry enough to get off the couch and drive to Taco Bell may soon be a distant memory, because Taco Bell's CEO told Nation's Restaurant News, that's a magazine, that he wants to turn Taco Bell into a on-demand brand.
But you will just have to wait a bit. He said, even though it's the #1 request from consumers, we have to make sure we can give them an experience that's consistent with Taco Bell. And that's what we're working through.
Little known fact, David Lynch is the CEO of Taco Bell.
He's really a renaissance.
That's how he funds his projects.
Yeah.
Anyway, an experience that's consistent with Taco Bell shouldn't be that hard to adapt to delivery service. I mean, you can literally just bag the food, have your cashier take it in his '93 Honda Civic to the customer's house. No one who's desperate enough to have Taco Bell brought to them is really gonna give that much of a shit.
Anyway, if you live in one of those special cities around the country where fast food companies test out new products, you may soon be able to have chalupas brought to your front door. Apparently Elliot did.
USA.
Yep.
That's a flag.
Oh no, yeah?
We did it.
We did. Oh, we did it. Like the collective we. I thought that was like you guys had another video where you had it happen. I was
Make this happen.
Yeah,
Taco Bell, we need delivery. All right, finally, let's look at some videos of the week. First up, Game of Thrones Season 5 is only a week away, and that hype train is going full speed right now. This video from Late Night with Seth Meyers has a very simple premise, but it delivers on it pretty damn well.
Basically, it's just Seth Meyers and a few yuppie friends having a dinner party, but Jon Snow is one of the guests. And Jon Snow's background as a heartbroken bastard son defending an icy wasteland against savages and zombies makes his dinner party small talk pretty damn awkward for the other guests.
Yeah, Kit Harington is a great actor on Game of Thrones, but seeing him act his ass off in what could have easily just been a throwaway late night sketch makes me respect his acting chops even more.
You know nothing. Nothing. Also, I just want to see more Game of Thrones characters in real life. You watch the show long enough and you forget just how insane and brutal all their lives are compared to your Taco Bell munching existence.
Yeah, they don't have Taco Bell in the north.
And it certainly wouldn't be delivered to them.
No.
A raven could not carry a 3-layer Mexican pizza or whatever the fuck they do.
Melisandre could cook taco meat with her fire magic.
But it'd like come out of her vagina.
Yeah, that's true.
And it'd be smoke.
Also, we got another video that also has to do with HBO, except this one's an ad for HBO Now, their new no-strings-attached streaming service that just launched.
I like no strings attached. In it, a guy who started a website a few years back that basically petitioned HBO to make a standalone service. TakeMyMoneyHBO.com gets interviewed for what he assumes is some sort of a promo for HBO Now.
And it is a promo, but not exactly what he expected, because Sopranos mobsters Pauly Walnuts and Big Puss show up in character to shake the guy down for the money that he told HBO he was gonna give him.
These guys were pretty terrifying on The Sopranos, so I can't imagine them coming at me in character and asking for money. And the guy in the video certainly looks just as scared as he looks totally confused.
He's like, I know these characters from the show that I love, but they're coming at me with angry faces asking for my money and taking my wallet. This is weird.
Yeah.
And for our last video, cosplay. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy cosplay videos out there. Most of them just make me go, that's cool, and then continue with my day. But this one's different because it's a cosplay of TARS from Interstellar.
Some dude put a whole shit ton of work into making a life-size TARS costume that he operates exactly the same way TARS was operated on the set of the movie. From behind like a puppeteer, which is pretty awesome. It would be weird if he got in it. Like,
You'd have to have long legs.
Yeah, and like, yeah. And thankfully he totally nails it. I hope he's at Comic-Con with that thing and I get to like hug it and like sit on it.
I'm gonna go to Comic-Con as Shitty Tars. It's just like cardboard boxes and it is an actual wearable costume because I didn't plan. So anyway, that's the end of News Dump for this weekend. Check out tomorrow. We have a special podcast interview with whoever the new host of Inside Gaming is.
I look forward
I don't know who that could be.
I count on Machinima fucking this one up.
He's walking into a real lion's den of hate, whoever that unlucky son of a bitch is.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck him. Anyway, there's also Weekly Weird News. It's all about panda sex. And then Tech Tuesday is all about tiny new computers that are like this big.
Oh. You could fuck that guy with the tiny little computer.
You could.
Fuck him.
Well, anyway, bye.